Welcome to an explosive new video. I'm your host, Crash Indie Wars 2, and today we're talking about conventions. And today I'm going to be talking about E3, one of the biggest conventions waited all year long. And I'm going to be talking mostly on the Xbox and Nintendo part of what was happening at E3. So, one of the biggest, there were like three huge announcements at Xbox panel of E3, where they announced the Elite Xbox controller, where you can customize the buttons however you want it. There are 4 button panels on the back that you can switch and rearrange, and there's an option in almost every new game that's coming out that's going to be where you can customize every button for the perfect gameplay, and the joysticks can be changed to different sizes of short, medium, or tall, depending on how easy you want to move your gun slower or faster. And then the D-pad can also be changed for angle buttons to where you get like a 30 and 60 degree button range also. And that's one of the biggest new inventions or whatever that they have. They also said that they would have the Oculus Rift be part of it, and I'm hoping that they will have the Oculus Rift and the Elite controller in some bundle, or at least the Elite controller with a bundle of 1 terabyte Xbox One console. So, and the second thing is that they announced backward compatibility for the Xbox One, so you can play your Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One. And it's a huge thing because, everybody loves their old video games, and so of course they wouldn't want to part from them, so they figured out a way to combine both the new with the old and make them both compatible. For now they only have, I think they said, maybe 10 titles right now, but by the end of this year they'll have like 100 titles, and from then on they'll be continuing more, and it was mostly about like the copyright issues and all of that they just have to get the licenses for them. And then they also announced new games. There was Gears of War 4. They showed a little game clip from Halo 5 Guardians, where you play as two different groups. You can play as Master Chief, and then you can also play as a new character, Spartan Locke, who is one of the other head Spartans in the UNSC. And I believe Master Chief has gone AWOL partially, so Spartan Locke and his team have to go find him. And it also mixes in with the other aliens of I think definitely Covenant, maybe the Flood, and the cyber robot things from Halo 4. And the other thing was that they were remastering Gears of War, the 1 through 3. They were remastering all of the games, so they look a lot better now. I'm not too much of a Gears of War gamer, but I'm more on Halo side. But other than that, on to Nintendo. So, I'm not so big on Nintendo stuff, but I will give you a little stuff that I've heard on the web and such. So, they're coming out with a new Skylanders game that is supposed to be the first racing game that they've ever had where you can actually drive with cars and vehicles and whatnot. You can ride in the air, land, water, and even your Skylanders connect to the theme car that they have. And they even introduced, who is it? Bowser as Hammerslam Bowser and Donkey Kong in it, and it's really interesting. I'm expecting more characters. Diddy Kong is probably going to come along the way. Mario, I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up. But other than that, it's really interesting how they actually tied in together the Nintendo main characters, like from the old video games, into the new games. Kind of seems to be a trend now, doesn't it? Anyways, and then other than that, I also found out about another Legend of Zelda game, which I don't think it really ties into like Link and Zelda timeline, but it's the Triforce Heroes, and you basically play as uh, the Link heroes from like the Four Swords Adventures and all that. And you can, it's mostly for multiplayer, and you can, like, whether or not you're playing multiplayer or not, the other characters are interacting with the other stuff, but it's mostly a puzzle game of like, how do I get my friend over onto this panel so he can push this button, and so I can get onto this panel so that my other friend can make it his way across, and things like that. It's all puzzles. But even that, it still works similar when you're in single player mode. Other than that, on for the extra stuff. I found out that, I don't remember who, I think it was just Man of Action, the same company that does Ben 10 and Generation Rex. They are going to be the directors, and also somebody else, I forgot his name, another Asian group, probably someone working with Nintendo, but they're going to make a new Megaman series, an animated series. I'm hoping that they're going to be focusing on the, like, kind of continuing the old series, like the first one from the 80s, rather than the new ones like NT Warrior Axis, and all of that. But they're doing all of this for the 30th anniversary of Mega Man, I believe. So when it comes out in 2017, let's all make sure that he gets a big round of applause. Hopefully the first episode will be fantastic and people are going to love it. I've heard, I mean, I have a feeling it'll kind of end up the same way as Sonic Boom. Like, it will have its differences and people aren't going to be that excited about it, but I think overall people are going to be interested in the storyline as it progresses and the new characters. I really hope they do keep the same names of Rock for Mega Man, Roll, his sister, and hopefully either, I'm curious if they're going to have Proto Man or Zero, depending on which generation they're going to place it in. So, yeah, other than that, I will keep you posted with other things along the way, but for now, this has been another convention talk with your host, Crash Indie Wars 2. Thank you.